Fine wine in a glowing cup. Sweet dreams need no rush, baby. A must-watch wilderness building video before bed. Guaranteed to give you a beautiful night's sleep. Today, I guess your phone battery is around 59%, and you are currently lying in this exact posture. If I guessed right, let me know in the comments. If I'm wrong, take a photo and post it in the comment section. Now, please put your left foot behind your neck. Let's dive straight into today's main topic. Brothers, Ryan and Les, who have loved the wild since childhood, finally plan to turn their dreams into reality this year. They hit it off and went deep into the Ionian jungle, deciding to build a beautiful cabin here with their own hands, as a base camp to explore nature and fully enjoy life in the future. After selecting the building site, the two began gathering timber. They use ropes to drag the thick logs. As the saying goes, brothers united can conquer anything. The fresh timber still needs to be debarked and scraped. This not only looks good, but also prevents insect infestations. Their two little black dogs also keep them company. Although they can't help much, they sure bring a lot of joy. When the timber is mostly processed, Les starts digging the foundation pits. Then he plants the sawn wooden posts into them. Meanwhile, Ryan carefully cuts mortises into the wood. This allows the crossbeams to rest securely on the pillars. Drilling holes and fixing them with wooden pegs makes it incredibly stable. Subsequently, they plant two more pillars on the side and secure them with diagonal braces. I thought these were the foundation of the house, but it turns out they are just brackets for placing and processing materials, which makes it easier to debark and cut a large amount of timber. Working together without slacking, they processed over a dozen logs in just 2.5 days. Ryan uses sticks and wild hemp rope to mark the boundaries, while Les quietly weaves a rope net on the side. I wonder what it's for. By the time the foundation pits are dug, the net is also perfectly finished. The two head nearby to look for materials. These stones are the perfect choice for building the foundation. Now the rope net comes into play. It makes it very convenient for them to transport materials. I have to say, this is a pretty good method. In no time, they have gathered a huge amount. Then they can start mixing the wild concrete. And for the mortar, the rope net is still more than capable. With the materials ready, the next steps are much easier. The two quickly build several foundation bases. The bases look perfectly aligned. I mean, this is what a true foundation should look like. While waiting for the concrete to dry, it's the perfect time to start processing the timber. First, cut deep enough mortises in the right places. Then they can be placed steadily on the bases. To prevent moisture, they even specially placed linoleum underneath, accompanied by the sound of hammering wood. The foundation frame soon begins to take shape. It doesn't look like a conventional design, but rather has their own unique style. I'm already looking forward to what the cabin will look like. Next comes the installation of square timbers and floorboards. Look at these professional tools. You can tell they're master carpenters with decades of experience. The brothers divide the work. One, cutting grooves into the base. The other, processing the square timbers. In just a few strokes, a more complete bottom framework is formed. Then they just need to lay down the thick floorboards sequentially, and the entire foundation is pretty much complete. Of course, the flooring part relies on some wild iron nails. From above, the foundation presents a distinct shape. As sunlight shines through the jungle, creating the Tyndall effect, Ryan and Les start processing timber again. These wooden pegs, fully 1/2 meter long, can firmly lock the pillars in place. They pre-cut grooves on top, presumably to facilitate the subsequent installation of walls. In his spare time, Les starts making some art. First, he carves out the rough shape on the wood scraps. Then he uses his skilled hands to carve them carefully. Not long after, two beautiful wooden bowls are freshly made. While no one is watching, the big, black dog tries it out first. He expresses that the bowl is absolutely perfect. Les immediately lights a campfire, then takes a teapot to forage in the jungle. Cardamom is a common wild vegetable, and brewing its roots for tea not only tastes unique, but also helps clear heat and detoxify. Perfect for the brothers working hard outdoors. And the addition of berries gives it a richer flavor profile. Boiled with a pot of vintage mountain spring water, the two sit under the shade, planning the future. While sipping their tea, it looks extremely cozy and relaxing. Fully rested, they dive back into work. For the walls, they use these treated logs. With the help of mortise and tenon joints, they can be easily fixed. Les even specially lays a layer of cotton padding in between. This achieves a perfect seal. Living in the wild long term, taking a shower is a big issue. Therefore, Ryan plans to build a shower stall on the side. Since the required area is small, it's built very quickly. In no time, it has a solid foundation. Then the walls can be filled with logs. By the time Ryan finishes the top frame, Les's cabin wall is already over 1 meter high. Even the window frames have been installed early on. This shower stall currently looks like a watchtower. Ryan plans to do some decorating first. He gathers stones to build a low wall at the base, then digs up some ivy to plant. This adds a nice atmosphere for showering. Lining the top with a plastic sheet turns it into a water reservoir. Once he fills it bucket by bucket, he can open the installed showerhead for a refreshing shower. This is an absolutely heavenly experience in the wilderness. Through their day after day, hard building work, the cabin walls reach a sufficient height. The two little black dogs can't wait to lean on the windows and play. It looks quite comical. This specially treated log is the main beam of the house. Only it receives such special treatment. After the processing is complete, the two lock it into the reserved top pillars. From this moment, roof construction can begin. This determines the entire cabin's waterproofing and appearance, so every step must be handled with care. First, use wild iron nails to fix the square timbers on the slopes, giving the roof its basic shape. The gable walls are still spliced with logs. Of course, they must be sawn to the proper angles. Dude, your Thor's hammer is not bad. Can I borrow it to play for a bit? Accompanied by bursts of ping-pong-like hammering, the cabin already starts to stand out sharply against the backdrop of sunlight and green leaves. It looks particularly dazzling. Finally, they trim the purlins a bit. Then, they can start making the roof shingles. They use thick logs for splitting. This strangely shaped knife is a first for me. Just wedge it into the wood and twist hard, and it splits the log right down the middle. At this moment, the two little dogs dash around wildly, launching a surprise attack on the camera. Looking at how well behaved they are now, they probably got a good scolding. After splitting the wood piece by piece, they carefully polish and sand them. Then they can be stacked aside for later use. Before laying them, the interior ceiling must be completed. The brothers divide their tasks with high efficiency. Les focuses on processing the shingles, while Ryan quietly lays them. During this time, Les also got some apples from a local villager. The two sit on the roof, eating and enjoying the sunset, their eyes filled with hope for the future. After eating, they dive back into the unfinished work. Look at this mountain of wooden shingles. You can tell this is a massively huge project, and of course, a very long process. To facilitate further operations, they need to build a makeshift ladder. Then they can climb onto the temporary scaffolding to seal the roof. First, they lay down a thick layer of waterproof material to ensure not a single drop leaks inside. And the sawdust accumulated from long-term woodworking also comes in handy. Filling it into the frame gaps provides insulation and moisture resistance. Once filled, they add another layer of tarpaulin to achieve a double seal. Only then can they continue laying the Looking from afar, the cabin is already taking proper shape. Billows of smoke drift into the distance with the wind. Their busy silhouettes look incredibly handsome. After trimming the excess edges, they can begin the final shingle installation. They use an overlapping laying technique, leaving absolutely no gaps, while also ensuring it looks great. looks just like beautiful scales. In the jungle, time always flies by. It has been several months since they started building. The lush green mountains have put on their gorgeous new outfits. Fallen leaves everywhere signal the arrival of winter. At this point, the roof is mostly complete. Considering the security of their new home, Les plans to install a fence around the perimeter. There's plenty of leftover timber. They just need to plant posts and nail down 6 square logs to get a beautiful and sturdy fence. Then they splice logs sequentially to reinforce it. A courtyard wall over a meter high rises from the ground. As time passes, the leaves in the jungle turn darker and darker, and the roof construction is drawing to a close. Finally, the two work together to make a giant door frame. Standing it upright at the front, it will be the courtyard's main gate. By the time all the walls are completed, most of the trees are left bare. Showing their bare branches, the two also begin considering making some furniture. Slightly assembling the leftover scraps from the build can make a pretty nice table. The little black dogs play happily at the door. The smoke from the campfire scatters around. From afar, the courtyard is full of warmth and elegance. Brothers, I really love this. The courtyard entrance can't be left empty. It needs double doors installed with beautiful hinges. After installing, the two reinforce it again with wood. This way, even a big bear couldn't break in. Not to mention the two strong little black dogs. It's also time for the pre-made windows to make their debut. The effect looks pretty fantastic. While Les is busy decorating, Ryan plans to keep utilizing the extra space in the yard. He's going to build a workshop on the side, so they can do crafts and eat here in the future. This place doesn't need a complex roof structure like the main cabin. He plans to use a single slope roof. The two quickly finish installing the roof beams. The next day, Ionia welcomes its first snow of the year. The mountains and plains are covered in silver, looking desolate, and the newly built cabin faces its first test. From afar, it looks just like a fairy tale world. Once the snow melts, Ryan gets back into building. First, he nails the square timber frame onto the top. After trimming it flat, he prepares to lay the pipe. It snowed heavily again at night. He has to knock off the thick ice on the surface first. Before he can continue the installation, the swirling snowflakes give the courtyard a hazy glow, looking elegant and tranquil amidst the mountains. The brothers go down to the river again to collect stones to build the base of the workshop. Once stacked to a certain level, they can level the foundation. For the top, he uses wooden planks directly. After all, it's a workshop, so it doesn't have high waterproofing requirements. Even though their hands are freezing red in the snowy weather, it can't stop the brothers' passion for their new home. Soon, the entire roof is laid. When free, they can even go up and play with the dogs. The extra stones are used to continue building the bottom walls. This makes it even more sturdy and solid. And Les brings clear varnish for brushing. This step makes the doors and windows more beautiful and durable. Once slightly dry, the custom glass can be installed. For the floor of the workshop, Ryan paves it with concrete and stone slabs, so working here won't be a muddy mess in the future. While he has free time, he also makes a beautiful double-tier table out of wood. This will serve as their simple workbench. The doorway is the face of the entire house, so Ryan plans to build some beautiful stairs. The little dog wants to step on it to leave some paw prints. Unfortunately, it never found the chance. Even in the middle of the yard, he laid a stone path, stretching all the way outside the gate. At this point, the courtyard is looking increasingly exquisite. The extra stones won't go to waste either. He conveniently builds a beautiful fire pit on the side. Meanwhile, Les is indoors, installing the fireplace. After all, this is the soul of the entire cabin. Seeing this chimney, I know it's solid. It's rare to see top waterproofing considered so well. Looks like they really plan to live here long term. The internal firewall is laid with precision. Indeed, they always work with such meticulous care. And only this way can they build the perfect masterpiece. Les immediately lights a fire to test it. Thick smoke blends into the forest. From now on, the two brothers will never fear the bitter cold again. After finishing, Ryan gathers a lot of firewood nearby. This stockpile is enough to burn through the whole winter. When the heavy snow falls again, they only have the main door left to install. After some precise measuring, they can assemble the door frame. Adding spliced wooden boards makes a beautiful door. Once done, they install it with custom hinges. Finally, they brush on a layer of varnish for anti. Calling this effect a luxury mansion wouldn't be an overstatement. And the interior decoration is happening simultaneously. Les first installs a second floor loft at the top. Exactly one on each side, perfect for sleeping. Lying up there, the space is very generous. Of course, to make getting up and down easier, he specially made a ladder. Then he gets thick sponge, cutting and laying it down. Covering it with fixed fabric creates a 5-star mattress. Seeing the bottom space is still quite spacious, he makes another sturdy set of table and chairs, making it convenient for the two to drink tea and eat later. As for the walls, they can't be ignored. Nailing some storage cabinets up can hold miscellaneous items. All furniture must also be varnished for protection. Thus, a fully functional, warm and comfortable inner world finally takes shape. From the lush midsummer to the silver snow, brothers Ryan and Les, through sweat and tacit understanding, turned a jungle clearing into a main house, a workshop, a shower room, and a complete courtyard, a systematic composite wilderness home. This is not just a wooden cabin. It's a monument to the brothers' bond, and a long letter they've written to nature, and the most solemn reservation for a peaceful future.